I would like to invite the next speaker is Professor Cormac McGuinness, and he will speak about European Synchrotron and Free Electron Laser User Organization.
Hello, yes, thank you very much. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay. So it's fantastic to be here to witness this first Ukrainian synchrotron workshop, community workshop, and indeed all of the activities which are going on in relation to it. Um, so I'm going to introduce what the European Synchrotron and Free Electron Laser User Organization, ESUO, is. And our role is principally advocating for European users. I am the president of the European Synchrotron Users Organization, talking to you today from Trinity College Dublin in Ireland. So SEO was established in 2010 in order to represent all European photon users. Sorry, just trying to move that. Okay. There we go. So today, SEO represents about the approximate 35,000 users of the European synchrotron and free electron laser facilities in Europe. And we have users of 32 nations, member states, EU candidate, and associated countries represented by SUO, where our delegates are nominated from national user organizations and facility user organizations. We have multiple delegates to SEO from some nations with large user communities and or multiple facilities, giving 50 plus national delegates. In particular, SEO supports the establishment of national user organizations. And so we're very happy to see the Ukrainian Synchrotron community organization having been established. SEO is a fully registered non-profit international organization, or an AISBL, under Belgian law since September 2021. And we're very grateful to have been a partner for LEAPS since 2020 and are currently renewing our strategic partnership with LEAPS. So 32 nations are represented in SOO, most recently both Romania in 2002, then Ukraine in 2023. So we're very happy to have added Ukraine to our map of member nations that we see here. I'll talk a bit more about SEO's interactions with Ukraine in a moment. But I should introduce our executive board. So I'm one of 8 who have been elected from our national delegates as our executive board. I'm the president, but the vice president is from Germany, or a delegate from Germany, Bridget Murphy. And then we have a treasurer, Carla Bittencourt from Belgium, Derek Logan representing Sweden, Tom Haas representing the UK, Rainer Lechner representing Austria, Monique Tromp representing the Netherlands, and Wojciech Goelda representing Spain. So here's a picture of us at the time of the election in 2021. Not all of us were on site at the European FEL and DESI, which had hosted our meeting on that time. I should explain a little bit what SUO's vision and missions are. SUO's vision is to support a thriving European synchrotron and FEL user community, where there are equal opportunities of access and participation for all scientists, based solely on the scientific merit of their ideas. But in order to have no geographic or financial barriers to participation in synchrotron and FEL science, we are very much about promoting the transnational access to European light sources, which has been run by the European Commission and the integrating activities in the framework programs for a long time. So we are lobbying to support the elimination of geographic or financial barriers in user participation with as simple an access model as practical as possible. Pardon me. We want to enable strategies for equal transnational access by European scientists. We were collaborating with other user organizations, and we're developing actions for advanced techniques, as well as fostering contacts with users and widening in European neighbor countries, sharing knowledge and expertise. So these are just some of our missions, which are very relevant today. And our manifesto from 2014 is still directly relevant to what our mission and visions are. I'm going to summarize a little bit the last year or so of meetings. So in November of last year, we had a joint meeting of ESUO and the European Neutron Scattering Association, ENSA, with the German Daphne for NFDI consortium, where we had a joint meeting on fair and open data principles and practices. So we have a publication which is in press, which will come out soon. Relatively soon, we will have our 20th ESUO General Assembly meeting in Solaris in Poland in December. And ESUO represents user interest in meetings such as the S3 Stakeholders Forum in September 2023, other conferences such as the Belgian Presidency Conference of Research Infrastructures in Brussels in June 2024, a recent in Budapest, Research Infrastructures in Europe, Development, Sustainability and Inclusion, and in November, the ICTP Heraeus Conference on Sustainability and Resilience through Large-Scale Infrastructures and Remote Automated Experiments. We've established or are establishing special interest groups on industry, business, and intermediary companies meeting in November this year, and education and outreach, which will begin in 2025. I should mention very briefly that ESUO registered as an S3 stakeholder, and it's possibly the first users organization to do so. And so we are contributing input on behalf of users through all of the mechanisms that S3 will allow us to do. And we are present as a user's voice. And this was the stakeholders meeting in 2023. Next stakeholders meeting is in June of next year. So that will be the second stakeholders meeting, the third S3 stakeholders forum meetup. And so we'll be very happy to participate there, where we'll be continuing to advocate for users in FP10. In terms of access of users to facilities across Europe, it very much depends on where you live, on where you work, whether your country is a member of the ESRF or a member of the FEL consortium. Other than that, if we examine some of the other nations in Western Europe, in some of these nations there are national funding to access their national sources, but in almost no other country is there national funding to access international sources. In fact, some countries with sources have no national funding for their scientists to access their own sources. Okay, so we are interested in funded transnational access, but we also want to see national programs for external access to all facilities. At present, it's only Denmark and Turkey who have such access programs, and we are seeking to change that, and that's part of our mission. Okay. So we have been successful in collaborating with consortia and other users organizations in funding access. So we've been working together with LEAPS and with LENS, ESUO and ENSA. This has brought forward the Nephews project, which we'll hear about from Piotr Pavarich in just a few minutes from Solaris. And so at the joint ESUO-ENSA meeting last November, as we had learned at that time that Nephews was funded, here we see myself and the ESUO Vice President, Bridget Murphy, and the ENSA chairs at the time, along with Peter Pavarich and Mikhail Minakrik from Solaris, celebrating there in person the formation of Nephews. Now, Piotr will talk about Nephews in just a few moments, but I'm just going to excerpt one of the diagrams from the successful proposal where we indicated how ESUO and ENSA and LEAPS and LENS were going to be helping access users from all of these countries access the research infrastructures, which are mainly but not exclusively in Western Europe. And in this yin and yang of the symbol, we deliberately chose to use the colors of the Ukrainian national flag. I hope you don't mind in doing that. So ESUO's interactions with Ukraine, well, since 2022, we've been expressing support or seeking to support users from Ukraine, and we issued a statement on the aggressive actions in March 2022. And so we were able to then reach out, having to Ukrainian Synchrotron users in July and August 2022, initially to Tarish Mali, to invite a user delegate to the 18th ESUO GA at Soleil. This is a visit facilitated through the support of LEAPS, Soleil, and Jean Dayant in particular. So we received Sergei Indyrelko as our invited guest at that ESUO GA. facilitating discussions with LEAPS and Jean Diant of Soleil and one of the LEAPS chairs at the time. And so here we see a number of photos of Sergei with other members of the ESUO executive board and Bridget Murphy, then one of the committee members of ESRI, Peter Wenzel Constable. And then LEAPS invited Alexander Georgiev to the LEAPS plenary in Zoom, via Zoom rather, at PSI not long after that in November 2022. And so the collaboration for Light for Ukraine emerged very rapidly after that. And Solaris was to coordinate LEAPS Ukraine interactions. So ESUO was very happy to participate in the first Light for Ukraine workshop in February 2023. Soon after, the nephew's proposal was submitted, where we intended to have support for Ukraine. And we're very happy to see Oksana Jakova report to us at our ESUOJ in November last year, as she mentioned, the establishment of the Ukrainian Synchrotron users community and so on. So ESUO formally admitted at that time Ukraine with the delegates of Alexander Georgiev and Oksana Jakova. And I finally got to meet Alexander myself when ESUO were attending the LEAPS at European Parliament meeting in Strasbourg later in November last year, where Alexander was given a platform to advocate for Ukrainian science, and I was given the opportunity also to advocate for users, including Ukrainian users, but all users in Europe. So now we're at the situation where the Nephews project has begun with Ukraine, a selected country in Ukraine. And so I'd just like to congratulate Ukraine on everything which has happened to date in this very rapid escalation of their integration into European synchrotron and FEL science in all manners of ways. And so I will be hoping that ESUO will continue to work for our users' future across Europe and for Ukrainian scientists. So on behalf of ESUO, congratulations to you, Sync, the Light for Ukraine project, Solaris and Nephews, and all of those involved in Ukrainian science and supporters of it. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Cormac, for such an amazing speech, and thank you for all initiatives which you are doing and probably will do for Ukrainians. And we